Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got a new piece of equipment on the farm. We've been needing one for a long time, I'm just gonna say that. Finally got us a hold of one. Let me show y'all. It's tedder. If you couldn't tell already. If you don't know what a tedder is, it basically, like if you're a hay farmer or whatever, which we are, we've just never had one of these for a long time. But we haven't. I don't know if we've ever had one. Yeah, it fluffs up. If you just went out there and mowed your hay, you would let it sit that day or whatever, and then come back the next morning and go over it with this, and it would fluff it up, flip it over or whatever. And then you let the sun dry on it another day, and then it just depends how thick your hay is or whatever, all the other conditions, the weather. This makes it where you can bale your hay faster after you mow it. It's very nice to have one. There's a couple of things wrong with it, like there's this right here, tooth is broke. And it was a pain in the tail to try to hook up to when we went down there. We had to get the backhoe, and we took this, you can't even see it. Anyway, we run a chain through there to pick it up because it was real heavy. I couldn't pick it up. We picked it up and then it flopped backwards, and these wings were folded up. So anyway, it flopped backwards. We took the bucket, pushed it back down, it fell down. So we just folded the wings out, and it was flopped up. The drawbar was probably about up here, and I just laid on top of it and got it to come down where it needed to be. And then Mama held it in place, and I got on the tractor and backed it up and put the pin on it. So it's a pain in the tail to hook up to. I don't know what we're going to do about the hooking up situation. But anyway, we're just basically going to be getting this ready. There's some of these teeth are broke, like I said. I don't remember which one it was. It's this one over here. Like this one right here, how this one's broke. And we gotta get the drive shaft, PTO shaft, whatever you want to call it, lubricated, because it needs to slide all the way in. Right now, the end piece right there is right here on the tractor. Well, I'm just saying, when I swing it around, it's hitting right here, and it's got to slide up on the shaft. So we got to get this lubricated right here. Well, let's get to work on it. I'm gonna lubricate the drive shaft, grease it, and then I'm gonna hook it. Once I get the drive shaft or the hook, I want to grease everything that way it works. I'm gonna hook the drive shaft to the tractor and ease it on there. I'll probably just turn the drive shaft first and make sure nothing's locked up on it. That'd be the smart way to do it. Okay, we got a leak under there. Matches the rest of our equipment. I'm gonna be real easy with it and turn it on. I'm gonna have to pull it away from that tree. I'm gonna tear something up. Alrighty, after however many minutes that was of pulling on it, I don't want to beat on it, that's just being rough on it, but if I have to, I will. I pulled on it, couldn't get it to move, so I used that super juice that I showed you in that other video. This right here. I seriously recommend y'all get some. If this don't get it, ain't nothing in the world gonna get it. Green Wonder product, that's what it's called. USDA certified. If y'all don't know what that is, it's United States Department of Agriculture. It lubricates, penetrates, cleans, protects, frees rusty nuts and bolts. That's what it says. It's certified to do that. The one's blowing so hard you probably can't even hear me. Right the other way with all these tools. So now I'm gonna grease it. And while I let this shaft soak, and if I can't get it to move today, I'll see if I can get it to move tomorrow. Well, let's grease it. And once again, almost dropped y'all. Time to fill up with grease. My favorite part. Done greasing. Now let's see if we can move this stubborn drive shaft. And if y'all see parts of that tractor in the background, like that hood, not the grease gun, the hood. That tractor is, as y'all have seen in my previous videos, or if you're new, we're currently rebuilding the engine in it, so I'm gonna get the drive shaft like it needs to be. Then I want to turn it on, make sure everything runs right. I gotta pull it away from that tree. I need to check the wheel bearing on that tire over there. Y'all can't even see what I'm pointing at. I need to check the wheel bearing on that tire. And then I gotta move some teeth around to get them like they should be. But let's see if we can move the drive shaft. Well, couldn't get it to move, so I'm gonna spray it down again. Maybe it'll move in the morning. If it will, then, you know, that's good. What it looks like something's right here. Come on, focus. You can't even focus. Anyway, you see how that right there's beat up? It looks like whoever was pulling this had a tractor. The PTO shaft was real close to it. Or that's a dumb way to say it. But anyway, what I mean is this shaft is probably just a little bit too long. Because when it's all the way, it has to be all the way in for it to hook to this tractor. And I haven't even hooked it up. I can tell you it's got to be all the way in because it won't hook up like it is now. But when you start turning or get it in a position where it's going to push on it, that's when you start busting crap up here or right there, and like breaking the shaft off in the tractor, or busting that thing in there, making it slide too far up on the shaft, or busting that gearbox, or busting that thing and making it slide too far up on that shaft, whatever. Yeah, I got it greased. These boxes or gearboxes take a just ridiculous amount of grease. I've greased all the U-joints. I'm probably gonna spray these down with some oil or something to help them. I might just put grease on them, I don't know. That's about it as far as, I don't know. If we get this shaft to slide, we will, but once we get it to slide, we need to hook it up, make sure everything works right. And no, guys, before you ask, we do not sell this stuff. We're not sponsored by the place that sells it. We're just farmers that try to help out other farmers. And if you're looking for a good penetrator on a good penetrator, I highly recommend it. Fall in the dirt. Hold on, that's what I'm gonna do to it today. I could try that PTO shaft one more time. But other than that, I gotta grease that adjustment right there. Other than that, I believe that's it. So, yeah, I reckon I'll bring y'all back when we start beating on that PTO shaft to get it to work, I reckon. Daddy's not here to help me right now, so he can get me with it tomorrow if I can't get it apart now. Well, I'll let y'all know if I get it. I'm gonna try it again. Well, y'all, I couldn't get the shaft to move, so I reckon I'm gonna try again in the morning when Daddy's here to help me. Well, I reckon I'll see y'all tomorrow. Alright. Hey, everybody. We're back this morning. We're gonna try to put this irrigation reel shaft on there. It's too short, so we're fixing to hook that other shaft to the backhoe and get it pulled apart and get it on here. I'll show y'all. Well, we finally got it apart. We had to hook it to the backhoe, but it is nice and dry. The backhoe got it apart. I don't recommend doing that. I don't ever recommend doing that. But we were willing to risk tearing it up to do that. But don't try that at home. So, yeah, we got it apart. Now let's get it lubricated good and get it put on there. Alright everybody, we got the shaft on here. Got it greased up real nice and slick, and it works good. Or moves back into good now. I'm gonna pull it away from the tree. We're gonna turn it on and see how it runs. Well, everybody, I'm gonna show you what I found. You can't see it very good with it folded up like that, but whoever had this thing, or whoever worked on this thing, didn't put, or this gearbox is one spline ahead from these, like one notch ahead. What I mean by that is there's notches on these shafts in here. Or I assume there are. There's somewhere there is. And they put this one notch ahead than all these. So this gearbox, or these tines, are banging up against these tines when it turns. That's that racket y'all heard. And this pin's wore out right here. It's wore out pretty good. I mean, extremely wore out, because somebody didn't grease it. So we're gonna weld that back up and put it a notch back where it's supposed to be to match the rest of these. Well, I think I'm gonna let y'all go right there. Y'all need to stay tuned for part 2 when we take this wing off. I got crap all over my face. No, whatever. Don't mind that. We're gonna take this wing off, weld this, not this, pin back up, drill a hole in the other pin, put a grease fitting in it because it's broke off, and we're just gonna be finishing this thing up. So y'all stay tuned for part 2. I thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.